Online students, starting again. Question number 57, guys, is actually based on the principles of relevant costing. This question is copied from CA final syllabus. It shouldn't have been there as per me, guys, in our CA intermediate content, but nevertheless, because it was included, it is our job to do it. I'm going to explain you all the basic principles that are required as such, guys, for understanding of what is relevant, what is not relevant, and that too, guys, element wise. We will have to do what is relevant under material, what is relevant under labor cost, what is relevant under variable overheads, what is relevant under fixed overheads. Even the old batch students who are going to watch this later, but listen to it carefully. This is RTP Jan 2025 question. So guys, understanding the principles, guys, of relevant costing. I've already defined how do you decide what is relevant, what is irrelevant for decision making. Any expenditure as such, guys, that changes on account of the decision that you take will become relevant for decision making. For that, we check whether the amount is changing under two alternatives and whether it is something that will be incurred on a later date. If it is something that has already been incurred in the past as such, guys, it will be irrelevant, sunk cost, historical cost. Yes or no, guys? Ab material mein, guys, there are two cases that can arise. We have stocks of material. If you have, I have explained all of this, guys, while explaining materials chapter also as such, guys. Market price method, under methods of inventory, raw material valuation as such, guys, we did cost methods, we did market price method, my replacement value, realizable value. I also gave these examples when I was explaining the concept of relevant and irrelevant in introduction chapter, guys. So though the question might be new as such, guys, even without discussing all of these principles, you will be able to solve it if you apply that knowledge. So if you have stocks of raw material as such, guys, and we need same stock of material for a new project. There is a new project that you're taking up or a new product that you're taking up as such, guys. For that, you need existing stocks of raw material. अब ये existing stock of raw material के लिए what are you going to take as the cost? You will have to determine what is the cost of the new project. That is the end goal. To determine the cost of new project, I am using some materials. I am not buying them. I already have them. If you are using the materials that you already have as such, guys, historical cost of that is irrelevant for decision making. Yes or no, guys? So historical cost is always ruled out. Historical cost will not be relevant. I usually cover all of this as such, guys, at CA final. I used to cover when costing was a normal paper over 3 hours, all the cases in a detailed manner with all the examples. Utna detail, guys, is not required at this level because I'm not sure whether the intent was to include. If the intent was to include, they should have included that beta in the study material also with all the relevant concepts. इसीलिए whatever basic knowledge is required as such, guys, I'm trying to tell them. ठीक है, trying to tell it. So historical cost will not be relevant. How do you decide what is relevant, guys? Will depend upon the alternative use. ठीक है. If these stocks of raw materials are in regular use, then you know that even if you use these stocks of raw material as such, guys, for the new project, for the other project or for the other products, you will have to buy more material. If you have to buy more material, what will be relevant for decision making? Replacement cost is the word that we use. That is nothing but the current market price. I repeat again, we are talking about material expenditure. We already have stocks of raw material. If you have stocks of raw material as such, guys, and you want to use that for a new project, what is relevant, what is not relevant will depend upon the alternative use of that material. If the materials are something that are in regular use, we will have to take replacement cost as relevant for decision making. When you say replacement cost, guys, we're talking about the current market price. Why will current market price be relevant? Even if you use those new materials as such, guys, even if you use the existing materials for the new project, for the other project, you will have to buy more materials. What if, guys, these materials are not in use at all? If these materials are not in use at all as such, guys, then you will have to take. Because if you do not use the materials for this project, what is the alternative use? Sell them in the market. Yes or no, guys? So are you not losing out on that benefit? So that is why I said beta that realizable value will become your opportunity cost. So two basic cases. One is the material is in regular use. One, the material is not in use. If the material is in regular use, replacement cost. If the material is not in use, realizable value. third case under it, we have stocks of material. It is in regular use, but additional purchases cannot be made. Material is not available in the market. We have stocks of material. Yeah, इसमें भी नहीं है बेटा question में, but I just want to cover all those cases also. We have stocks of material. They're in regular use, and you cannot make fresh purchases. There is a scarcity of that material in the market. Not just historical cost, but the amount of contribution also that you are foregoing. Because if you end up using that raw material here as such, guys, won't you have to cut down on the production of some other product? This is what we did under key factor, limiting factor. Remember special order decisions? If you were to accept an order of 2,500 medals and your spare capacity is only 1,500 medals, I said you will have to cut down on a production of 1,000 units. If you're cutting down on a production of 1,000 units, won't you take contribution foregone, guys? So यहाँ पे बेटा, if the existing stocks of material as such, guys, are in regular use and you cannot make fresh purchases, you will have to take both the amount of contribution as well as historical cost. So, but sir, historical cost is not relevant. You can compute contribution without including historical cost. If historical cost is not relevant here, historical cost is not relevant anywhere else. So without including material cost, compute contribution, or compute contribution after including material cost, but write what is relevant as for decision making. Say guys, there's another product that you're manufacturing at 100 rupees. इसमें raw material is 10 rupees. Other variable cost is 60 rupees. What is the contribution? 30. What will be relevant for decision making is 10 plus 30. Alternatively, do not include 10 and directly write. I'm not taking historical cost anywhere into consideration. I'm just saying better that the other product is giving me 40 rupees. ये case नहीं पूछेगा, but just for our understanding. Are you all getting the point, guys? So 3 cases, guys, wherein we have stocks of materials. What are the 3 cases? What are the most important 2 cases? One, the material is in regular use. If the material is in regular use, what will you do? Replacement cost. If the material is not in use, clear? Third case that I said, I have stocks of material regularly used. I cannot make fresh purchases. If you cannot make fresh purchases, then I will also have to consider opportunity cost, not just the amount of cost of material. Yes or no? What if, sir, you do not have stocks of material only and you have to make fresh purchases? Whatever is the market price, guys, will be relevant for decision making. What if, sir, you have stocks of material, they're not in use, and they are toxic materials which you have to dispose of by incurring a cost? I have 10,000 units of raw material, not in use. This is a toxic material. I cannot sell it. I will have to dispose it off by incurring a cost. I will have to spend money from my pocket to dispose of this material. Let us say beta that it is going to cost me 15,000 to dispose. Now I have received a new project for which I can use this 10,000 units of raw material. Negative cost. Forget taking any cost. You will now take saving of 15,000 under the new project. Because I will use these materials better for the new project, am I not saving that 15,000? There is no cost here. There's only saving. ये case भी वहाँ पे आता है बेटा. वहाँ पे there are 6-7 cases in CA final. अपने लिए सबसे important 2 cases, replacement cost, realizable value. But you have to think about all the alternatives, guys. Are you getting the point? See, the decision is always very clear. If you do not do this, what are you going to do? The difference will automatically tell you as such beta as to what will be relevant, what will not be relevant. Please think about it again. I have 10,000 units. If I do not take up the new project, will I be saving money or will I be incurring money? Incurring how much? If I take up the new project, will I be able to save that 15,000? What will be relevant there? Saving of 15,000. That applies for toxic materials beta, which have to be disposed of at a cost. Are you getting the point? Are we all clear about the cases of material? Labor में क्या cases दे सकता है बेटा? For labor, guys, they can specify that you have temporary labor, which means you can hire them whenever you want, you can remove them whenever you want. If you can hire labor whenever you want, you can remove labor whenever you want as such, guys, labor expenditure is always relevant for decision making. Because you will incur it only if you take up the project, you will not incur it if you do not take up the project. If you have temporary labor or contractual labor, will it be relevant? Definitely yes. उसका मतलब ही क्या होता है बेटा? You will incur that expenditure only if you take up a project. If you do not take up a project, you are not going to incur that expenditure. Any doubt in that part? Yes or no, guys? Next, beta. What if they mention there is permanent labor? If there is permanent labor, whether it is relevant or irrelevant will depend on whether the existing labor is being fully utilized or not. If the existing labor is being underutilized, but you will have to continue to pay salaries because they are permanent employees. Imagine that you take up articleship, but because of your amazing performance, you have not been given any work. Are we understanding this, guys? You're sitting idle in the organization as such, but the company gets a new project. You've been put on that work. What will be relevant for decision making? Zero. You were paid stipend before also. You are being paid stipend now also. There is no change in the amount of salary. Permanent labor force underutilized, and you can use them for a new project. Zero relevant cost. Salaries will have to be paid whether or not you take up the new project. Are you getting the point, guys? The whole question here is there any change in expenditure because of the decision? Here's a permanent employee, Asad beta say Ayush. He's being paid 50,000 a month. He's not being fully utilized at present. We are taking up a new project. You will put Ayush on that work. Will his salary change? The company was still paying 50,000. The company will still pay 50,000 even now as such, guys. What will be relevant for decision making? Nothing. What if additional labor cannot be hired and existing labor is fully utilized? Just like raw material. Raw material का case अब भी करा था मैं. Now I will say Ayush is working on project A. I now receive a new project, project B. If I take up this project, only a technical expert like Ayush can do the work. Hypothetical situation, guys. Only a technical expert as such beta like him can finish this task. So what I do beta is I remove him from project A and put him on. Am I foregoing project A now? What will be relevant? His wages plus the amount of contribution that I'm foregoing. Because the other project was paying for his wages, was also giving me some profit. Shouldn't I recover both better? He was working on this project A, he was being paid 50,000. And after paying him 50,000 and all other expenses, I was saving 2 lakh rupees. Now if I put him on this project, I should not only recover his 50,000 payment, I should also recover this 2 lakh rupees that I'm foregoing. So my relevant cost would be wages plus contribution foregone. Usually these are the 3 maximum cases that they will give. Temporary labor. Always relevant. The fact that they use the word temporary, that means you can hire them whenever you want, you can remove them whenever you want. So whenever you take up a new project, it will result in incremental expenditure. Permanent labor, 2 cases. Underutilized, fully utilized, but you cannot hire more people. If the existing permanent labor is fully utilized, but you can still hire more people, whatever is the incremental wage will be relevant for decision making. So if permanent labor is underutilized, what is relevant? Nothing is relevant. Why nothing is relevant? Whether you take up the project or not, your overall cost is not going to change. If permanent labor is fully utilized, wages and opportunity cost. The ones who might have already read the question, guys, when I gave time, you might have seen that ये जो मैं cases बोल रहा हूँ, raw material के 2 cases उसमें आ चुके हैं, wages के almost 2 या 3 cases उसमें आ चुके हैं. Yes or no? It will be very simple, guys, once you understand all of these principles. Now coming to variable overheads. Always relevant for decision making. The fact that you're terming it as variable overhead, it means you will incur it only if you undertake work. You do not work, you will not incur variable overheads. If you work, you will incur variable overheads. So for variable overheads, what should be relevant for decision making? Entire amount. I work for 2 hours, I'll incur variable overheads for 2 hours. I work for 10 hours, I'll incur variable overheads for 10 hours. Are we clear about this? Fixed overheads. You already know this because ये तो अपन इतने सारे questions में करते हुए आ रहे बेटा. What will be relevant? Irrelevant unless otherwise given. When will fixed overheads be relevant? It has to be specific fixed cost. Just remember these principles beta. If at all they give a question, it will be easier to answer. And I think if at all they give a question also, it will be a 5 marker which will only be on material as such, guys, or wages, basic parts. You should not pick up a question like this directly, RTP wala question. first chance matlab first better is they should not be asking this. If at all they are asking this, they might have to include it in the materials first as such, guys. Agar pucha to bhi, don't worry, it's very simple, it's common sense. This is why I told you beta CA final CVP analysis is very interesting. Imagine every question like this beta wherein you have to think. कुछ basic rules ठीक है पढ़ लेते हैं, उसके बाद में every question will have a new point. You'll have to think about it, use your common sense as such, guys, and then decide as to how are you going to approach that paper as such beta. मतलब वो जो CVP analysis part है, once you finish all of those questions, it improves the way that you think, the way you will go around a problem as such beta. See what are the multiple scenarios possible. Anyways, are we all clear about this part? Any doubt in this? Let us just quickly write this summary as such beta in simple words as to what will be relevant, what will not be relevant. Online students, if you want, you can skip and directly, not you beta, the old students who are going to watch this, you can directly go to the part of the question. So relevant mein beta, first material. Whenever they talk about material, what are we talking about? Relevant for a new relevant cost. थोड़ा आराम से यूज किया करो बेटा. Relevant cost for a new order. देखो भी हाई बोलना है बच्चों को. Hey guys. Yes guys, relevant cost for a new order. First beta material. Material में what are you going to check? First basic question that you need to check. Regular use बाद में आएगा बेटा. Do you have stocks or are you going to purchase it? That's the very first question that you should be looking at. So इसमें बेटा we will talk about what if we have existing stock which can be utilized for the new order. Which can be utilized for new order. If you have existing stock which can be utilized for new order, then what is the next question that you will ask yourself? Relevant cost will depend on alternate use. Yes or no? Will depend on alternate use. लिखते जाना बेटा. I've already explained all of this. Relevant cost will depend on alternate use. What will be the first alternate use that I spoke about beta? Case 1. What is that? Regularly used. If it is regularly used beta, what will happen? If existing stocks are utilized, do we have to purchase new stocks? If existing stocks are utilized, new stocks will be purchased. New stocks will be purchased. So what will be relevant? Replacement cost. Replacement cost is relevant. I have to do a cost benefit analysis guys every time. I cannot talk about what is relevant, what is irrelevant in 6 classes because we do not have that. जैसे CA final में we have about 35-40 questions on ऐसे बड़े वाले questions के साथ बेटा what is relevant, what is irrelevant बोल के. So यहाँ पे I have to just do what should be मतलब relevant for your exam. Case 2 guys, what will I write? Not in use. So if existing stocks are not used for new project beta, what will you do? If existing stocks are not used for new project, they will be sold. Therefore, for new project guys, such sale value should be considered as relevant. Will be considered as relevant. Opportunity cost. Yes or no? For the new project, so sale value will be considered as opportunity cost. I'm not making you write about that toxic material guys. वो वापस confusion नहीं. जो basic case is relevant है, let us write that only. Case 3 guys, regularly used, but fresh purchases cannot be made. But additional purchases cannot be made. If additional purchases cannot be made guys, what should you do? Relevant cost beta would be historical cost plus contribution foregone. Are you getting the point? Contribution foregone matlab opportunity cost, profit foregone. Why are we taking contribution foregone? Because if you were to accept a new project, you will have to forego on the sales of some other product. Third case might not be given. First two cases definitely yes. What if you do not have stocks of material? No stock only, guys. Then obviously beta we have to make fresh purchases. So what will be relevant? Current market price. Current market price, that is replacement cost, will be relevant. That is replacement cost will be relevant. Are you all following? If you do not have any stocks of material, you will have to make fresh purchases. In that case, better the current market price will be relevant. Done, kids? Next, beta, employee cost. What are the cases that I spoke about? Kya beta? Historical cost? Never relevant beta. Correct. But नहीं जरूरत नहीं है. अच्छा तू मेरे को सिखा. Yes, guys. Tane, employee cost. First case, guys, under that, if you have, what is that beta? Temporary, or what is the other word that they can use? Contractual labor. Then, guys, wages will be incurred. Yes or no, guys, if product is taken up? Wages will be incurred if new project is taken up. So what will be relevant? Wages will be incurred if new project is taken up. What will be relevant? Entire wage will be relevant. Entire wage will be relevant. Next, guys, case 2, permanent employees. Permanent employees beta, but underutilized. That is, spare capacity is available. Permanent employees but underutilized. With the new project, utilization of employees will increase, but there will be no change in utilization of employees will increase, but there will be no change in kya, guys? There will be no change in wages. So what will be relevant? No relevant cost. No relevant cost. No relevant cost. Online students, I hope you're all writing better. Next comes case 3, guys. What did I tell you better? Additional employees cannot be hired and existing employees are overused, नहीं लिखते, fully utilized. Article से बोल के कहाँ बोला बेटा मैं? When if I talk about articles, you say overutilized. Overused कहते. Overutilized. हाँ वही एक ही तो बात है ना बेटा. Additional employees cannot be hired Existing employees beta are fully utilized. मस्ती कर रही है श्रेया तो भी. Existing employees are fully utilized. What will be relevant, guys? Taking up new project beta will result in reduction of sales of some other product. Yes or no, guys? Taking up new project will result in loss of sales of some other project. Loss of sales of some other project. Guys, I'm dictating and I'm writing also. फिर भी you are 8 lines ऊपर 9 lines ऊपर क्या बेटा? Taking up new project तेरा हो गया वहां तक? Dictate करूँ आगे? 1, 2. Taking up new project, guys, will result in loss of sales of some other project. Therefore, what will be relevant, guys? Wages plus contribution foregone. Opportunity cost. Should I breathe for a second? Yes, kids, are we all done with this, beta? Yes, beta. Correct है. So 50,000 is irrelevant. So compute contribution that you are foregoing without considering wages. The other product beta is resulting in a sales of 10 lakhs, material 2 lakhs, wages 1 lakh, other variable cost 3 lakhs. What's the contribution? 5 lakh. So either you write 1 lakh plus 5 lakh, or if you tell me 1 lakh is not relevant, it is not relevant for the other project also, no? Compute contribution of the other project without wages. 6 lakhs. It is still wages plus contribution. Are you getting the point, guys? Guys, few of them had a doubt that why are wages relevant? Because anyways we have to pay wages. Excellent doubt. If wages are not relevant for the new project, they're not relevant for the old project also. Please do not consider there also for computing contribution. If you do that, isn't your contribution automatically higher to the extent of wages? But we normally do not write like this, beta, because the word contribution normally means after deducting all variable costs. That is why we have a habit of writing wages plus contribution foregone, rather than just writing contribution without considering labor cost. You can write contribution without considering labor cost, or you write wages plus contribution foregone. One and the same. Are we clear? You want to ask something, Devansh? ऐसा घूरते हैं. हाँ. Calculation mistake किया मैं. All right. What was the figures that I said, beta? Revenue 10 lakhs, material 2 lakhs, wages, other variable cost 2 lakhs. So what was the contribution, guys? 5 lakhs. Yes or no, beta? So you either take 5 lakhs plus 1 lakh, or if you do not include 1 lakh, how much will you get? ऐसे झूठ बोलते हैं. वो मेरे दिमाग में मेरे को 5 lakhs लिखना था विदाउट वेजेस, तो शायद इसलिए मैं 3 lakhs लिखा. देख, दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम व्हेन यू थिंक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट स्टेप. But it also improves speed. Variable overheads, always relevant. fixed overheads, guys, unless otherwise given. So only specific or incremental fixed cost relevant. Specific or incremental fixed cost is relevant. Specific or incremental relevant. Are we all clear about this? Ayush and yes. Do you guys fight? कुछ तो यश नीचे तो all right, guys. Are we all done with this? Okay, let us quickly discuss the question better first. Question number 57, guys. I hope you've all written that, guys. XYZ is a company involved in production and construction, specialized equipment and machines on the demand of customers. The company received an order for construction of a specialized machine. It had nearly completed this job relating to construction of a specialized machine when it discovered that the customer had gone out of business. The customer had gone out of business, matlab he did not go out of city as such beta for a trip. It means the customer is going bankrupt. Are we clear? At this stage, इसको बुला लेते सर वापस क्या हो रहा बोल के. At this stage, the position of the job was as under. Original cost estimate, not relevant. Cost incurred so far, sunk cost, not relevant. Sir, won't you want to recover everything? Yes, given a chance, you will want to recover everything. But here it is short-term decision making. If you are adamant on recovering that 24,80,000 as such, guys, and forego some benefit, are you not at a loss? So, given a chance, you try to recover everything, guys. We have no problem with that. But in case you cannot recover everything, recover something. There should be some incremental benefit rather than losing everything. So, cost incurred so far is irrelevant for decision making. Cost to be incurred, relevant for decision. Any incremental expenditure to be incurred as such, guys, will always be relevant. Are we clear? Progress payment received from original customer, irrelevant. Leke baitho. We'll go by the terms of the contract. If we have to refund something as such beta and all of that, we will see. Otherwise, this has nothing to do with what are you going to do alternatively with the machine. Are you getting the point? What am I going to do with that will not affect this progress payment. Progress payment matlab advances. Wherever a contract is to be performed over a longer period as such, guys, you may not receive the entire amount, guys, at the end at once. You might receive the amount better in parts. This is where we use the word progress payment. The ones who are done with accounts, guys, AS7, retention money, progress payments, yes or no? Now, after searches, a new customer for the machine has been found. He is interested to take the machine if certain modifications are carried out. So everyone expects a change in the person better. The new customer wanted the machine in its original condition but without its AI device and with certain other modifications. How do we incorporate AI in our syllabus? By using the word AI in the question. Our questions, guys, are all modern now. We are talking about AI. The cost of these additions and modifications are estimated as under. Guys, question समझ में आ रहा है ना? Someone is interested, but they want us to make certain modifications. Those modifications के लिए now we have a long list of expenses. This is apart from the expenditure that you are yet to incur. 3,70,000. Original condition does not mean existing condition. Original condition मतलब बेटा how the machine was supposed to be originally. For the machine to be in original condition, shouldn't we incur that 3,70,000 more? Undoubtedly that 3,70,000 is relevant for decision making. Is that clear? Now let us talk about additional expenses. First beta is direct material at cost. How much? 1,05,000. नीचे देखो. The direct materials, first point नीचे मतलब. The direct materials required for the modification are in stock and if not used for modification of this order, they will be used in another job in place of materials that will now cost 1,50,000. Not exactly replacement, but guys, if I do not use those materials here, somewhere else I can save 1,50,000. Opportunity cost has become 1,50,000. The alternate use of these materials beta will result in a saving of 1,50,000. I repeat, if you use these materials for the new product, you will not be able to use them for an other product. For that other product, you will have to buy new materials at a cost of 1,50,000. So you will have to take that 1,50,000 as such beta as relevant for decision making. Any doubt in this? So इसका कितना हो जाएगा बेटा 1,50,000. So far guys, two relevant costs, 3,70,000 and 1,50,000. You do not have to write that in the material guys, just for me, because I have to give this video to the old students also. They might not be waiting to write down the entire answer in a detailed manner. Direct wages guys, department X. नीचे देखो बेटा, department X is working normally, and hence any engagement of labor will have to be paid at a direct wage rate of 1,000 rupees per man day. He's telling you that boss, if you want to take up this order, you will have to pay wages. Is that an incremental expenditure? So what will be relevant for decision making? 35 guys into 1,000, 35,000. Nowhere is it given that our department is underutilized guys, and we will be able to fully utilize the department. He says we are working normally. If you want to take up any order, you will have to pay at the rate of 1,000 rupees. Isn't that an incremental expenditure? Any incremental expenditure will be relevant for decision making. Department Y, 55 man days. Man days. Department Y is extremely busy. Its direct wage rate is 1,200 per man day, and it is currently yielding a contribution of 3 rupees per rupee of direct wages. This is to tell you better that you will not be able to hire. The fact that they're talking about contribution, it means boss, you will not be able to hire. In that department does not support more capacity. All right. So wages will definitely be relevant for decision making. How much is wages better relevant for decision making? 60 plus. What is the amount of contribution that I will forego guys if I shift employees from another task to this task? 3 rupees for every rupee of wage. How much is the wage here? 3 times of 66,000 will become my opportunity cost. Are you all following? Wages plus contribution foregone. Contribution foregone beta, he is given it in a different way. He says contribution is 3 rupees for every 1 rupee of wage. Are you getting the point guys? I just covered these cases better. समझ में आया ये? Our wages guys is 55 multiplied by 1,200. Will that be relevant? Definitely yes. And on top of that, I will also have to recover guys opportunity cost of how much beta? 1,98,000. Variable overheads. Always relevant. It is what? 30% of 35,000 plus 66,000 multiplied by 30%. 35,000 guys plus 66,000 multiplied by 30%. How much is that beta? Relevant for decision making. Delivery cost. Obviously, isn't that an incremental expenditure guys? Fixed overheads will be absorbed at 50% of direct wages. Irrelevant. कहाँ पे दिया हुआ that it is incremental fixed cost? Absorption rate, recovery rate, apportionment, allocation, irrelevant for decision making. If they use all of these terms, it means existing fixed cost is being allocated. There is no increase in fixed cost. If there is an increase in fixed cost, they will have to specify that. Are we all clear about this? So far, beta, additional cost to be incurred relevant. समझ में आ गया वो? Cost incurred so far. Why is it not relevant? Sunk cost. There is nothing that you can do about it. The amount that you received from the previous customer. Will you go and tell the new customer, पिछला वाला 15,50,000 देके क्या बोल के? No, right? Irrelevant for decision making. For raw material, guys, why did I take 1,50,000? This raw material can be used elsewhere, which would result in a saving of 1,50,000. Because I'm not using it there. Here I will have to take an opportunity cost of 1,50,000. Department X, why did I just take wages? Question is very clear that if you are working, you will have to pay them at the rate of 1,000 rupees per day. Department Y, why did I take both wages and contribution foregone? Fully utilized. Extremely busy guys. Fully utilized. That is why my relevant cost will be wages plus contribution foregone. Variable overheads always relevant. Delivery cost incremental expenditure. Fixed overheads absorption not relevant. अब आता है fourth point से. Third point तक हो गया ना? Additional supervisory required for the modification is 80,000. Incremental cost, fixed cost. Will that be relevant for decision making? Yes. AI. The cost of the AI device that the तुम लोग देखेंगे बेटा FM में भी कैपिटल बजटिंग में पहले क्वेश्चन आया था 1-2 साल पहले, सेम क्वेश्चन AI के साथ आया अभी. The device that we need is AI. The cost of the AI device that the new customer does not require is 1,35,000. Sunk cost 1,35,000. बेटा वो ऑलरेडी है उसके अंदर, सामने वाले को नहीं चाहिए. समझ में आ रहा है ना? The other person does not need it. If it is taken out, it can be used in another job in place of a different mechanism. Jara, the latter mechanism has otherwise to be bought for 1,05,000. The dismantling and removal of the control mechanism will take 5 man days in department X. ध्यान से सुनना बेटा, most important point. I do not need AI device. 1,35,000 is already incurred. Sunk cost not relevant for decision making. Are we clear about this? If I take it out from here, I will be able to save money elsewhere. Because of this conversion, I am saving money. How much money am I saving? But to save that 1,05,000, I have to spend 5 days in department X or Y. Very careful because X में relevant क्या है, Y में relevant क्या है, पूरा change हो जाता. How much is the amount that I have to spend, guys? 5,000. Variable overheads. Guys, he will not specify variable overheads incur करना बोल के. You have to keep a note. Any work performed in department X, variable overheads are 30%. So 5,000 rupees का 30%, 1,500. So if you remove the AI device from here, I will save 1,05,000, but I will spend 5,000, I will spend 1,500. What is my net saving? 98,000. That I will take it as saving here. If I remove the device from here, how much am I saving? 98,500. ठीक है guys? There is a lot of assumption on this part as such बेटा जो सदियों से चलता हुआ आ रहा है. There's an argument that whether or not I carry out the conversion process, I can always save that 98,500. Even if I do not carry out the conversion process, or even if I carry out the conversion process, can I not use that AI device elsewhere as a, guys? हाँ या ना guys? But they've always considered this to be a saving, meaning guys that if you do not carry out the conversion process, you will not be able to save. Or maybe that is forming part of the next part as such better, that the amounts that you could have realized as such guys, all of that is included in that. I will talk about it. Next point mein beta, we will see certain opportunity cost. So abhi ke liye guys, what are you remembering? AI device, if I do not carry out the conversion work, I can use it. If I carry out the conversion work, I can use it elsewhere and save 1,05,000. But to save 1,05,000, I have to incur 6,500. My net saving 98,500. Now sixth point. If the conversion is not carried out, some of the materials in the original machine can be used in another contract in place of materials that would cost them 2 lakhs. It is assumed that 1,35,000 is forming part of this is what they assume guys. तो यहाँ पे तुम लोग 2 lakhs opportunity cost ले रहे हो. So ऊपर you should take 1,05,000 as saving. Otherwise do not include there, do not include here. Question should undoubtedly be changed. But then remember, this is not just from now, it is from 1980s. Same question, same format, सदियों से चलता हुआ आ रहा है. We do not have another option. The implied assumption is, जो भी ऊपर saving की बात कर रहे हैं, it is forming part of that 2 lakhs. That is why we are taking that as saving and will take 2 lakhs as opportunity cost. Otherwise, do not take that as saving, but also reduce 1,05,000 from 2 lakhs. Take only the net difference. Answer will still remain same. Now, if the conversion is not carried out, we can use these materials elsewhere better. That would cost how much? 2 lakhs. It would have taken 5 man days of work in department X to make them suitable for this purpose. If you do not carry out the conversion, how much can you save? 2 lakhs. But to save that 2 lakhs, you should have incurred 6,500. That means my net saving would have been only 1,93,500. Now that I'm carrying out the conversion process, I will take that 1,93,500 as opportunity cost. If I do not carry out the conversion, I will be able to save it. If I carry out the conversion, it will now become opportunity cost. Are you getting the point, guys? The remaining materials will realize 1,50,000 as scrap. Opportunity cost. All of this is if you do not carry out the conversion. Will this become opportunity cost? The drawings which are included will be sold for 45,000, can be sold for 45,000. Even that is opportunity. I will not be able to sell drawings better if I am taking up the modification work, because I will hand it over to the new customer. Are you clear beta? All of these guys will become your opportunity cost. Ho gaya question. You have to add all of these expenses and arrive at the total amount of relevant cost. Is that clear, kids? Are you trying to understand it? Haha. Let me give the answer, guys, in a detailed manner. The only confusing point beta will be 0.5, but you'll have to remember that. Everyone understood? 0.5 mein what is the assumption that may arise? Whether you carry out the conversion work or not, you could have anyways used AI device elsewhere. So why is it relevant to the new order? Because with or without the new decision beta, that saving is anyways going to come. It should not be impacting my decision here. But what is the implied assumption? That it is forming part of that opportunity cost. That is why we are also taking it as saving. That is the only part here. Alright, let's write, guys. I'll give one element of the cost and keep writing whether it is relevant or irrelevant. Online students, online nahi beta, pass by students who are listening to this, if you want you can just end the session. Bas abhi sirf notes de raha hu main. So relevant cost mein beta, cost incurred so far, relevant or irrelevant? Historical cost, irrelevant. Yes or no? Cost to be incurred, relevant or irrelevant? Incremental expenditure, Neil. Relevant. क्या हुआ अक्षर? Cost incurred so far beta, historical cost, irrelevant. Cost to be incurred, guys, is incremental expenditure, and that is why it is relevant. Next, guys, modification cost. Under that beta, materials. So if existing materials beta are not used, if existing materials are used elsewhere, it will result in a saving of, kitna beta? 1,50,000, which will now be considered as what? Opportunity cost. Very nice question, right? Not nice. Direct wages, department X, incremental wages, relevant. कितने बार नाम लेना पड़ता कि तेरा? Incremental wages and hence relevant. How much, guys? 35 multiplied by 1000. 35,000. Department Y, guys, fully utilized. Yes or no? So relevant will be what, guys? Wages. Wages कितने हैं अपने? 55 into 1200, 66,000 plus contribution foregone. Contribution lost. Contribution loss कितना है? 3 rupees for every 1 rupee of wage. 1,98,000. Total 2,64,000. Department X, incremental wages are relevant. Department Y, fully utilized, and that is why beta contribution lost. Unknown number, WhatsApp पे dude call me when free करते. कौन रहता है कि? और डिस्प्ले नेम क्या है? माई जियो, यू जियो. Yes, guys. Are we all clear about this? Do kids these days still use dude? हाँ, तुम लोग नहीं पढ़े डायरेक्टली नहीं सबको याद करते पहले वेरिएबल ओवरहेड्स गाइस no but that is different. This is for modification. That is for some other work. That cannot be included here. That we will have to show with that relevant part only. That 5 mind days ka saving and all of that beta will form part of that calculation. It cannot be included here. Variable overheads beta 30% of wages. How much is that? 35,000 guys plus 66,000. How much is that? 30,300. Fixed overheads apportionment guys. Absorption, will that be relevant? Irrelevant. Fixed overheads absorption guys, irrelevant. Next beta, delivery cost ही है ना वो, will that be relevant? Yes, incremental expenditure. How much? 15,500. Supervision cost, relevant or irrelevant? Relevant. Incremental. 80,000. Supervision cost guys, incremental, relevant, 80,000. Next guys, AI device. If conversion is carried out, it can be used elsewhere. It can be used elsewhere, which will result in a saving of, kitna beta? 1,05,000. But to save 1,05,000, we have to spend how much beta? 5 man days of department X. Wages beta will be 5 into 1,000, 5,000. Variable overheads 30%, 1,500. So what will be net saving? 1,05,000 minus 5,000 minus 1,500. 98,500. AI device guys, it will be 98,500. Done kids. Can be used elsewhere, which will result in a saving of 1,05,000. But to save 1,05,000, we have to spend 5 days of work in department X. Next beta. All the opportunity cost. When will these arise? If conversion is carried out, we will not be able to dispose materials. Yes or no? If conversion is carried out, we will not be able to. Are you all done with that? If conversion is carried out beta, we will not be able to क्या guys dispose materials. We will not be able to dispose materials. तो इसमें बेटा the sale value will now be considered as what? The sale value net of expenditure will now be considered as opportunity cost. Yes or no? Yes or no? For that materials better. कितना है sale value? Sale value नहीं, sorry. They can be used elsewhere बेटा. Saving कितना है? If I use the materials elsewhere, how much is the saving? 2 lakhs. But for that beta, what are the wages that I should incur? 5,000. What will be variable overheads? So my net cost as I'll take beta is 193,500. Sale as scrap beta, कितना बेच सकता मैं? 1,50,000. What will be the amount of drawings that I would have sold? All of this. Sum up the total value, guys. Arrive at the sum total of all of these expenses, kids. $14 lakhs. वो negative 98,500 है ना? All of you please check the values, guys. वो 35,000 will liya na wages. Please tell me the amount, guys. Online students Nidhi says 1234,800. Mental is laughing. Nidhi. This will be the minimum price to be charged. तो शायद 35,000 नहीं लिया बेटा, एक मिस हो गया तेरे से. करेक्ट है वो? 12,34,800 guys. This will be the minimum price to be charged. All right, the end of this question, guys.